Without touching you physically, I force you against the wall, and I place my right hand above your head. It's too late. You've realized it now. Your Kabe dawned. Good morning, guys.
Did you script
Good
that,
night.
or do you have that right off the top of your head?
No,
Was that prepared?
no, I was just thinking about the Kabe dawn and like how I'll never do that to a woman and how a woman will never do that to me, and my life is kind of just depressing all the time.
It'd be better to have a woman do it to you, though.
That'd be pretty powerful.
Yeah.
You can comment on me at some point, I guess, if you'd like.
I mean, I wasn't expecting that.
It's a problem with being tall, though, because it's really hard for a shorter person.
Well, that's the thing. It would be so much like, imagine like a short girl or a short Matt, and they stand on a box and do it to you. It's like my dick is diamonds after that. Like, that is much more powerful than a tall woman doing it to me.
Yeah, the box is essentially.
Yeah. What if she's not even standing on a box? She just kabedons you and her face is like at your crotch.
Where would the arms, to the arms like around your waist?
What, the kabedon doesn't go around your waist. The kabedon goes straight for the wall.
Well, I mean, like on the wall, but like side, like parallel with the waist.
I guess.
Because I thought the essential part of the kabedon has got to be over your shoulder.
Yeah, but like
There's got to be an intimidating element to it.
See, I feel like we gotta step away from tradition when it comes to these like Japanese anime type tropes. Like, you gotta just step away from them and innovate. And I feel like we really have with the creation of very strong anime girls existing in this world, and them doing it to weak-minded little boys. And I'm thinking of like Faku.com actually. You know, me and Matt share a Faku account. Did you know that, Cal?
Really?
Yeah, because when he moved to Japan, I'm bringing this up because I had logged into Faku for a hot minute because I've been like using some other sites for like hentai and stuff and Dojin and whatnot, because Faku doesn't have like the parody ones, like the actual like parody Dojin ones, like of like Fate Go and that sort of stuff. But I went on Faku recently, and fucking Matt has his favorites folder, his super favorites, and then when I made it, he made me a folder called Glen's Favorites and Glen's Super Nut. And I like to imagine he looks at the Super Nut every now and then, and he's like, I get to jerk off to the same thing Glen did.
You could synchronize.
Dude, right before this, I posted the tweet. I don't know if you saw it. Fucking, no. I was reading an eroge, C3, like cubed something.
Oh, that one?
Yeah, it's really good. It's cute. But I fucking was literally jerking it, and Matt like called me, and I was like, "This is the worst timing." I mean, the thing is, it made me stop because I was like, "Well, I got to decline the call." So I was like, "Well, now the mood's killed."
So I thought you restarted.
Oh, I did. But it's like it just kills the mood.
But not for that long. That's what we're learning.
Oh no, like I kind of got rejuvenated when I was just thinking about Matt a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
Small, cute Asian boy.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry, Glen. I'm taken, so you can't actually have
me.
Dude,
actually, like, so I've thought about this like a lot. Like, it's kind of seriously, but not seriously. Callum fucking May, the Canipa effect, and Matthew fucking Lee, RC fucking anime. Both of you, two of my best friends for the longest time at this point. Lesser Callum, because Callum hates us, but
he does.
Still best friends. Callum has a fiance, and Matt is in a super serious, like, I wouldn't call it super serious relationship, but he's in a pretty, like, you know, pretty good relationship, long-term sort of thing, and I don't feel bad about not having a relationship, but I've been thinking it's gonna happen in like 5 years when like both of you just get married or something, maybe even have kids, and then it's like you guys are gonna have to cut me off because I'm just that fucking loser, weird weeaboo friend that you used to know. And I have thought about that so much.
No, you can.
I don't think it's gonna.
You can live in the garage.
But the thing is, like, it's funny now because it's like, oh, he's like 23, he's just like, you know, having fun. He's just that, you know, he's kind of weird, but you know, he's cool. And it's gonna get to the point where it's like, Glen's 30 now, and he still hasn't had a girlfriend, and he still just jerks off to anime girls like 7 times a day. I think we're gonna have to cut him off. Like, at some point, you guys are gonna become actual adults. Like, you're adults now, but you're gonna realize, oh my god, this man is not who... He is not what he should be by this point in his life.
I'm so sorry, Glen.
I think about that daily.
No, Glenn, I hope you never change.
I won't, and that's the issue.
No, I'm so sorry. I guess this is like, is this your quarter life crisis reckoning?
This is my deepest fear. This is deep insecurities.
Honestly, my Twitter feed isn't complete without your likes and retweets. So
At some point, Twitter's gonna be the not popular social media. What then, Matt? What then?
Admittedly, I really could do without the likes and retweets. I mean, it's not been a problem in the coronavirus, but like, there's genuinely been times on a train where I'm scrolling through and I just see Glenn liked this, and it's
Dude,
just
that's not my fault though. Fuck Twitter.
that is 100% still your fault.
I shouldn't stop. If I retweet something, it tends to not be that bad.
Yeah.
If I like something, it could be really, really bad. Like, blab smack right in the middle of your fucking screen so the Japanese salaryman and the Japanese housewife to your left can fucking see this big titty and anime bitch. That's not my fault if I liked that. Twitter used to be fucking a good platform, but then they were like, oh, since people liked this or favorited this, obviously they want people to see it. No, I'd fucking retweet it. It's not my fault. I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't turned retweets. I've turned retweets off on like some people who would actually like retweet like proper like R18 stuff, but yeah, yours comes entirely through the likes.
I tend to be my retweets are tasteful for the most part.
Sure.
Like yes, I'm not going to jail over them. Unlike the likes, at least. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's me going to jail.
Well, fuck, you're in Japan. You're fine.
Is that?
Yeah, they won't. Like, they're gonna see your phone and just think, "Oh my god, this is the chattest American." Like, all these Japanese males are just gonna tremble in fear with their beta personalities, and your Chad personality is gonna come out, and you're gonna gather every Japanese woman as the white Godzilla that you are, Callum. Man.
That is.
And
what
while
I'm
this is
known for,
happening,
big
Callum is
chat.
wearing his Eminem t-shirt, his red Eminem t-shirt.
I love that T-shirt so much. I like to imagine there's like. You ride the same train every day, Callum. Like, I know you don't,
Yeah.
because you
These
don't like
days,
have a
no
consistent
trains.
like you don't have a consistent schedule.
Yeah.
But you do something consistently, and there's always somebody who's like, "Oh, there it is, there he is, the red M&M shirt, white guy.
Oh, I definitely think there's people
He's so
at
cool."
the supermarket because, like, obviously I'm 6'2", walking around, white guy in the supermarket. There's kids who just stare at me, and I wear like Yokai Watch t-shirts and stuff.
Yeah,
And Pokemon t-shirts. There is no way that there's not kids going, oh, there was an adult with a t-shirt. It was a foreigner. Is that what we call cool Japan?
Do you have a...
Kakoi.
I really hope you wear an Anpanman t-shirt someday, Callum.
See, I went to an Anpanman World in I think it was Yokohama.
That was in Kobe. I was
Oh
with you.
shit! It was in Kobe. Yeah, I was wondering. Like, I knew it was like near the sea.
Callum just wipes me out of his memory every time.
But yeah, that was great. But like, don't know anything about Anpanman.
No, Anpanman, all I know is that he lets kids eat him, and they live because they don't starve to death. And then
Really?
there's like other creatures.
Why are you shitting on my Twitter likes when this is what you two are talking about?
Yeah,
This I don't like this. I feel targeted in
Is-
this AniPod call.
is Anpanman 4?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I guess it is. It should be rated R then, because is Anpanman like declared as like a human being? Because that would be cannibalism.
Yeah. So
I know he's like Anpan, so he's like a red bean pan. He's like a red bean bun.
he regains his health and strength when Uncle Jam bakes him a new head and replaces his old head. It's some serious body horror stuff.
Callum, I know you're reading a synopsis, but if you said that without like context of me knowing what you're saying, I thought you would have lost your mind.
Fucking Kim's in the back, just like, what's going on with my fiance? Is he okay?
Yeah, is your fiance aware of your obsession with Anpanman and just like recreating like a superhero who can like regenerate and be eaten by little children?
Jeez, that would be like a weird, like, to be really into Anpanman, that like you're sitting there looking up at the ceiling at night going, I wish someone would eat my head.
Callum, you okay?
I'll get over it. Oh, just within like 2 minutes I've become the biggest Anpanman fan.
Well, let's do what we always do and step away from things you like. Because I don't want to talk about it. As soon as Callum likes something, that's when it's like, all right, maybe I don't like this
Imagine
thing
Junji Ito taking on Anpanman and like really getting deep into the body horror of
anymore. Yeah, step away from the things Callum likes.
Yeah, okay. What do you like, Glen?
Well, I already know anything I bring up from the current season. Neither of you are probably watching. And, you know, with coronavirus, no one's watching anything. But, well, not as many shows got canceled, like, they not got stopped, but they did. But, I was just kind of feeling nostalgic for, like, 2013 anime.
Oh, yeah.
So I rewatched, like, because 2013 was probably one of my favorite years when it came to anime.
2013 was when I started watching anime.
See, that's one of the main reasons, is because that's when I met you, I met Callum, I met Kevin, I met a lot of my best friends during that year, so I feel like it really solidified the anime that I watched during that time in my mind. But I rewatched Unbreakable Machine Doll.
Okay.
Which I like that series quite a bit, actually. That's one of the
ED.
It's a very good ED. Oh, pun. I'm not gonna do it. Fucking, when I went to Japan this last year, I tried to fucking play that on the rhythm game in the arcade, and it was so. I played it on medium, I think, and it was so fucking fat. Like, Matt was like, "You sure you want to do that?" He's like, "You gonna be okay, Glenn?" Like, he put his hand on my shoulder. He was like, "I don't think you're ready." And I was like, "I got this." I did not fucking have it. If you haven't listened to the Unbreakable Machine Doll ED, it is one of the best EDs in anime. But besides that, I also watched... This was a 2011 show, though. I rewatched the first season of Mach and Key. I don't know why. Like, it's just this really standard, random, like, harem ecchi show, but I don't know. I just was feeling nostalgic for stuff, so I just, like, was like, oh, I remember this. Let's watch it. And then I watched it, and then I was like, all right, time to never have a conversation with anybody about these shows because no one's gonna either have watched them or care if...
But Glenn, have you rewatched Aremo?
I've rewatched Aremo like 10 times or some shit, but I haven't rewatched it, and I haven't rewatched it in the past year.
That was 2013, right? Or season 2 was 2013?
I think season 2
was 2013.
Okay.
2011, 2010 or 2011 was the first season.
Yeah, because that was the first thing I saw airing, so it must have been 2013. That, and I think Hanako were the first anime.
I love Hanako.
Hanako's great. At least, like, from memory,
Hanako is actually... It's genuinely super good.
Yeah.
Like, anybody who tries to say, oh, it has all this, like, anime bullshit, like, step the fuck down.
I don't hate, the anime bullshit. I just feel like the anime that's doing the anime bullshit now is just way more bland than what it felt like in the early 2010s.
The anime bullshit has become very fantasy-based, and you don't like fantasy.
It's always fantasy.
It is, yeah.
It's only fantasy. And it's fantasy in, like, a very Japanese way, too, so...
What, you mean like Konosuba sort of thing, or...?
No, Konosuba is an outlier. I just mean, like, all these shows that I can't even name, because they all blend into each other.
He's talking about, like, mostly, like, isekai sort of fantasy.
No, they're not even all isekai, though, at this point.
Well, yeah.
It's just a lot of these shows, which I honestly I can't separate them by name, because they all... I'm just thinking of, like, their key visuals, and they all look the same.
Yeah, I definitely get that.
Yeah, and it's not that, like, I just hate fantasy outright. I like some fantasy stuff. It's a very Japanese way of telling fantasy that, I don't know, it's not, like, really provocative or entertaining, for me, at least.
I do really wish that, like the anime artists who do the key visuals, I wish they would just go to, like, AniChart or something, scroll through and see how their key visuals would blend into all of these other ones.
Well, they have to have their own version of that, right? Like, if they go to Akiba and just all of these giant billboards are around it, they must have, like, seen, like, oh, wait, yeah, my key visual looks just like that, or unless that's how they get viewers.
I know Callum will know who I'm talking about. I can't remember the name of him, but the person who does the key visuals for the Pokemon films recently.
Oh,
Those are some
yes.
very good ones. Like TV anime, it's like recently when it comes to key visuals, it's been like the super generic. Here's 10 characters from the series with like the main characters in the middle, a bit more prominent as it like gets further away from the camera.
Yeah.
The characters get bigger and it's just their faces or something. Like that's super generic key visual.
It's like an
I feel
idol
like,
group image at this point.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, the whole idea is like that. The characters are meant to be like good enough so that you can just take the PNGs of them and stick it onto merch. So they just
Yeah.
knock out two birds, one stone.
Like I don't know if I would call this like a generation of anime, but this generation of anime is, I keep on saying this. It just feels like a memory of like past anime I've seen, but the memory isn't seen fondly. It's just fragments of things I've already seen, archetypes I've already seen, and like anime-esque things that I've already seen. Not that like I would hate that necessarily. It's just that these memories feel so. It's just a skeletal structure. It's got none of the meat or muscle.
I understand what you mean, but I also feel like when it comes to you especially, it's very warped by how you've dealt with anime the past like few years. Like when you were talking to me when you first started anime, it's like, oh, that's like the tipping point. That's where it's like, oh, this is the fucking best thing in the world. I'm talking, got new friends, and he's the best. And then as you got older, you stepped away from me, and you're like, oh, he's kind of weird now. that's
you are my best friend. What?
I'm just predicting the future. It's gonna happen.
No.
It's gonna happen. But fucking, as it comes now, it's like you live in Japan, and you're kind of, I'm not gonna say you're bored by Japan, but you're bored by anime because you've embraced it for too long. Which, when it comes to somebody like me, you think that would happen to me too, but some people just have different levels, and I feel like that's the commonality between anime fans and people who considered themselves anime fans, is they started and they absolutely fucking loved it and could watch anime super fucking easily and would watch a ton of anime for like the first year or so, then they slowly stop.
Yeah, that
and it's like they can't even watch a seasonal now because it's not that they don't want to, they just, there's something holding them back.
Maybe. Still really do like Kaguya-sama. So.
That's what I'm like. Sure, there's gonna be that like
I think it's
show
easier
that's
to
for you.
Yeah, grip onto
but
a couple things.
Yeah.
I feel like back then you would have picked something up like Gleipnir or fucking...
I mean, I tried Gleipnir, and the first episode just...
I feel like back then you would have been more likely to like it.
I don't know. It reminds me of the first episode of Mirai Nikki to some extent. It's not the same, but it just like reminds me of the feeling I had, and it's just worse.
See, that's what I mean. It's a constant comparison in your head, and you're and like that. It's really hard to like get away from that, and I understand why the comparisons exist and why it's such a common criticism. Is like it compares to this thing I've already seen, and it's not as good, or it's like it's too samey, like that sort of thing. I understand, but I feel like sometimes you have to watch a show and you have to find that show, because I understand what you mean, because I watch things and I think, oh, this is kind of similar to this, but I always like find something in it because I don't know, that's just how I've always been with this sort of stuff. I feel like I'd be bored of anime if I didn't have this sort of outlook on it.
It is kind of weird to think that like there are people who are like us about like 10 years ago, who are just watching every single seasonal show, who are consuming as many episodes of like Gleipnir, all of that just because it's airing, like to the point that you actually have a list and you're just going, okay, I need to watch 3 episodes of this show, 3 episodes of that show, and I'll finish like 10 of them in the end.
I do miss being able to do that, because this season I've tried to watch the first episode of a lot of shows. I tried the first episode of Art, and in my mind, having been to Florence, Italy, I just feel like the show doesn't give me any sense of that at all. And again, like the dialogue and just the approach to it felt very Japanese. It didn't feel Italian at all, which I know it's made by Japanese people, but it just like took me out.
To be fair, the season sucks ass, but you haven't liked anime for like the past like year.
Yeah, but 2018, I'm sure if I went back to the stuff that came out in 2018, maybe it was just a really good year for me personally, but there were so many shows I'm sure I would still like Revue Starlight, A Place Further from the Universe, Yuru Camp. Those are all great shows, and if I went back to them, I still think they would be just as great as I thought they were when I first saw them. I'm pretty sure. And even 2017, like Kimono Friends and Hoseki no Kuni.
Yeah, Made in Abyss, like, still
Made in Abyss, yeah.
shines for me.
Like 2018 was maybe just too good of a year.
2018 was really good. It was a really good year for anime.
I've been enjoying what's it called, A Brand New Animal recently.
Yeah.
I marathoned the whole show.
Oh, I forgot that was airing. I just haven't seen anything about that on social media.
It's because it was a Netflix thing, I think, right, Callum?
Okay.
Yeah, but
everyone talks about it for a day, and then because it's done airing, technically, no one cares anymore.
Yeah.
The classic Netflix model.
I wish Netflix aired them weekly, because Netflix does air it weekly here in Japan. Like, The Great Pretender is airing weekly right now on Netflix.
Yeah, I was watching Brand New Animal with English subs weekly. It was great.
Netflix has just killed conversation, and I feel like that's hurt so many shows. Like, that happened with, like, Amazon Prime strike. Was that what they called
Anime
it? Strike?
Yeah.
Anime strike, yeah, that happened. And they still do that because Amazon Prime Video still has, like, all of the Noitamina shows. I'm pretty sure that deal is still ongoing, right?
Yeah. I feel like, because Netflix has adapted to our way of watching trash TV, like, there's trashy TV shows that come out weekly on Netflix worldwide, but they need to understand that anime fans are the same as trashy TV fans. We still want to watch things weekly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking of some shows where if you didn't watch it weekly, I felt like it would have just changed the experience entirely. Like Nagi no Asakara, watching that weekly was one of the, I don't know, coolest experiences I've had watching any anime weekly, just because of the waiting for all the cliffhangers in the second half of Nagi no Asakara, or even Kill la Kill. I understand binge watching, and I think that there are definitely shows that work better for binge watching than others. Like Game of Thrones is probably not a very good binge watching show. Like I couldn't binge watch Game of Thrones. I would have to take it at small doses.
Yeah, I did binge watch Game of Thrones, like in the first few seasons of it, but that was like mainly with that motivation of I gotta catch up for the next season. Like I don't think anyone
also
would voluntarily.
Oh, I just gave up. I just like stopped after like season 2. Game of Thrones.
I bet you were watching it with somebody too, weren't you, Callum?
No, I was watching it alone.
No, really? You what? Oh man, that surprises me.
Oh, I was watching the show weekly with my family. Like
I feel like watching stuff like is different because like when you watch Nagiasu, Matt, didn't you watch it with like Kevin and stuff, or
no? I watched it on my own, but I've had other people watch it after what happened. So you know, like the cutoff point halfway through the show. Yeah. When I got to that point and I was in that period of just waiting, I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks of waiting. I just showed the first half of the show to Kevin, and just a bunch of other people. So that might be why you think that I watched it with other people.
It's just like instant, like here's all the episodes. It kills conversation, but it also just like kills any fun you can have with your friends. Because I want to watch BNA, and I bet if I watched BNA, I could have a conversation with Callum. But like if it was like episode 3 right now, and me like, I mean it's the end of the season, but like, you know, let's pretend it was episode 3 right now. I'd be like, oh dude, the show's fucking sick, and Callum would be like, it's fucking sick, and then we'd have a conversation about what we think about it at that point, and then it's like how your ideas of it changes. You don't really get that when you watch 12 episodes in a row.
I think there's fandoms that have managed to like exist around the Netflix model. Like there's big fans for The Witcher, and there's like, what's that weird show that everyone keeps complaining about, like they want a sequel to and they complain it got cancelled. It's like
Netflix show.
Yeah, it's like
so many shows have gotten cancelled.
There's like big fandoms around those things, but I think in a way we've been like the fact that we've kind of grew up with Crunchyroll as the streamer for so long, and getting that like directly from Japan idea, the idea of like something not being directly from Japan anymore, the idea of give us a minute, like it fucks with anime culture as we've built it up for like over a decade. I grew up
torrenting anime, you fucking zoomer.
I mean, yeah.
I know, it's the same thing. I understood exactly what you're saying. I get it.
Yeah, I was watching like Hunter x Hunter 1999 on as many bizarre websites as I could find.
YouTube part 2. Where's part 3? Fucking part 3 was taken down. You were just like, oh, what the fuck do I do now?
I remember trying so hard to find Bigata HK.
Oh yeah, Bigata HK is a classic for you.
Yeah. Jeez, that was my second anime. What the fuck?
Yeah, all your favorite first anime were the ones where it's like, can I jerk off to this question mark? And it was like, and the answer was always kind of. And you were like, oh, that's alright, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I went from Oremo to Bigata HK to Mayo Chiki, then the clan ad.
Fucking Mayo Chiki, man. Every time you bring that up, I know we talk about it, but Mayo Chiki was the it was such a weird fucking show.
It was such a weird show, and it had the fucking craziest ending. You have to imagine me not really understanding the whole process of anime and, like, having only, like, one season or whatnot. I just assumed that a second season was gonna come out after how it ended, and it just never happened.
That's literally my stepdad right now. Every time he finishes an anime, he asks me, Glenn, is this gonna get a sequel? And I just always, 99.9% of the time, I'm like, no. And he asks me to explain why. And then when I explain why, he just says, well, that's dumb. And I'm like, well, yeah.
People who don't watch anime are so fucking privileged. When
I know.
When their shows don't continue, they call it cancelled. When ours just don't continue, we just like, yeah, well, that's normal, isn't it?
These shows can be super successful and not get sequels.
Yeah, like Kono fucking Suba.
Just because of the publishing company. Just because of the most minor infringes.
Will Kaguya-sama 3 ever happen? Probably not.
Kaguya-sama's pretty popular, but I don't
season 3. It's not like the Hero Aka type of show.
I could see it getting like a season 3, but it's a season 3 like the manga's ending, and it just adapts like the final arc, like that sort of anime ending. But I don't think it's gonna adapt the between.
Or it could just
honestly, I wouldn't mind if it skipped a bunch of arcs in the manga, because the stuff that's happening right now is a lot.
It's the Ishii Bowl, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. And everyone just got that episode of Kaguya now, where Ishigami fucking, Chad.
Yeah, honestly, he's a Chad. The manga is, like, at the moment, primarily focusing on him.
No, yeah, that's why I called it the issue. Like, I'm not caught up, but I have a lot of friends who read a lot of manga, and they always ask me if I'm caught up, and when I answer no, they're just like, well, alright, man, fucking... You used to be cool, and then I'm like, well, I'm losing these friends too. Fuck. I'm losing everybody. I'm gonna turn 30, still be a virgin, and still be jerking off to anime girls and have no friends.
But you'll be in Japan, right?
Probably. Which will be even lamer.
Yeah, then you get the social stigmatization as well.
Yup. Nothing's going right for me, boys.
Just make sure you have your polo shirts and cargo shorts ready.
I don't wear those anymore. I wore those in high school. And I wore them like one time when we met for the first time at Anime Next 2015. And ever since, I don't think since that day, Matt, I have put on cargo shorts or a fucking polo shirt. I don't even know if I'm pretty sure I threw them away after that. I even started wearing plaid less because you were like, you look like a stereotypical otaku, and I was like, well,
I never said that.
You totally did. You totally did.
I said that was the image in Japan, and I think you took it as me saying that that's you.
And I don't mind being a stereotypical otaku, but I was just like, I was like, Matt's gonna throw this out here. I'm gonna have to challenge it.
It's just one small comment, you had to reinvent yourself.
We just talked about a lot of concepts surrounding anime. Have you two actually watched anything? Because I know I could actually have a conversation about Unbreakable Machine Doll because I actually think it's interesting, but I know you two don't give a fuck, and I know literally every other person in the anime fandom doesn't give a fuck. So
B&A was my one thing. That's what I brought in for show and tell.
Seen the Euphonium film. Euphonium film is really good.
That was the one by
Shikai no Finale.
No, I know the name, but fucking
Ishihara?
Yeah.
So not the Liz and the Bluebird one, but
no, not Liz and Bluebird. But Liz and Bluebird gets Liz and Bluebird at several points gets a strong reference, and I loved every bit of that. When every time Liz and the Bluebird was referenced, I wanted to cry. But the rest of the film is really good. Honestly, I think that Euphonium has gone to this point where it's one of those shows that in my mind will just like continue to be as good as it is. Like it'll be hard for it to like drop in quality at this point. Maybe, I don't know. It's one of those shows where it just seems to really like understand its own formula.
Do you think it's going to continue?
I don't know. The film has finale in the title, but who knows?
To be fair, who the fuck thought? Yeah, I mean, they gave it Liz and the Bluebird, and they gave it this. Like, I feel like it could keep going. And did it have final in the title?
Yeah, Chikai no finale.
Oh, they localized the finale out.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did. Because apparently the English title is San Euphonium the Movie, Our Promise, A Brand New Day. Which kind of implies not finale, but...
We'll see. Who even knows what KyoAni is up to at this point after that, because that's the last... They put out the Violet Evergarden movie and that, so that's the last two things they were working on before...
The Violet Evergarden movie... They're still working on the other Violet Evergarden movie.
Okay. Yeah.
I know.
I thought it came out.
Well, there's two. There's the extension of like the main story, and then there was the one that did come out, which was like another like episodic type story, and I saw that as well, and that was sadly terrible.
Okay, why was it terrible? I haven't seen it, but I'm just interested because
you've seen Violet Evergarden, right?
Yeah. Cal, are you asking Callum or me?
You
fucking me and you. When it was airing, like we had so many conversations about it because me and you wanted to like it so badly.
Yeah, I wanted to like this film too. Basically, well, you remember there were good parts to the TV show.
Yeah, Violet Evergarden was like was like half of a good show.
Half good and half bad. Yeah, this movie is it takes all of that half bad. Basically, it's one of those storylines or the way of storytelling where it tells the audience to be sad without selling the sadness. Like maybe, I guess, like the best example is that it shows a lot of crying, it shows a lot of screaming at certain points, and in that regard, you know that you're meant to be sad, but from like a human point of view, it felt suffocating, and the film is split into like kind of like two sections of one story. The second half just follows one of like the most annoying child characters I've ever come across. Like I think the character's name is Taylor, and it was just, she was like so obnoxious.
Just come on, stop being fucking modest. Throw it out there. You wanted to beat the shit out of that child. You wanted to fuck it up.
It was just so annoying. The child was so annoying. I don't think it's very good. I don't have anything good to say about it, sadly.
No, I understand the ambiguity of, hey, feel and not feeling, because it's very easy. I'm very easily manipulated by media because I'm a little big bitch, but even when I like, if I see somebody crying, I will cry too. Like, that's just how I am, depending on the situation. But I'm very likely to do that. But I always know when I'm like, I don't actually feel anything from this. They're just crying or putting on this display of emotion, and I'm reflecting that because that's just kind of how I am, versus it's not actually anything.
That's true.
Not anything concrete emotionally.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever cried at an anime scene where the characters weren't crying as well.
Like, obviously, sometimes, just because it's like, we're not saying, like, that all the characters crying, that's a cop-out. I'm saying, like, there's a lot of scenes where it's like Plastic Memories episode 1. Like, they're like, that's a fucking 2015.
Plastic Memories.
I enjoy lots of parts of Plastic Memories, similar to the Violet Evergarden, where I'm like, oh, I like half of this show, but I don't like the other half. But it's like, this character, especially for Violet Evergarden, I feel, because it's like, you know, this character, it was like a short film, right? So it was probably like an episode or two, the same way the Violet Evergarden show worked, where it was like, get to know these characters in a very short time frame, and you want to understand and comprehend the emotions they're going through. But it's not composited well to actually be anything impactful, but it's just, you know, it's supposed to be impactful, so you just kind of react.
I feel like I'm too stubborn for that. When I feel that emotion, I almost unreact.
You shut it down
counter-react. Yeah, I shut it down, and it loses me. Like, it just like will lose me for the rest of the story most likely.
Oh no, the thing is, I think about it. I'm just saying that I do react. Like, I'm somebody who is easily reactable when it comes to that sort of thing. But I fully get that, because there's a lot of anime that I've watched where it's like, well, this isn't sad, but I guess I'll cry.
Yeah. That's why I think K-on's such a great anime, because K-on, the scenes where I would ever tear up, there's no crying in it. It's just you having that.
Oh no, I fucking
bawl.
I bawl at K-on. I bawl at it, like fucking like, I'm filling a bucket with my tears, sort of bawling. And
Even,
it's
like,
like
the ending of Penguin
and there's
Drum,
never
there's no
anything
crying.
like specifically like super aimed towards making you cry, but it's just what they're feeling, and you just fully and grasp that. You're like,
you
holy
empathize with the
fucking
characters.
shit.
You're there emotionally with them, and it's so powerful. It's so powerful when you can get that, and it doesn't necessarily have to be relatable. Even like, it doesn't have to trigger your memory. It just has to feel real. And the Violet Evergarden film, the emotions there, while they could have felt real, the way that it was delivered didn't feel real.
No, that's like the half of Violet Evergarden that I don't like, is very much
Yeah.
like Violet Evergarden was constantly this slew of feel this, feel that, and sometimes it could work depending on the director of the episode most of the time, because that's the kind of show that it was. But those episodes that didn't work, in line probably with the film, is it just kind of felt neutral, and to combine with that like neutrality, it rightly used so many common tropes to kind of trap you in your own assumptions of these feelings. And although it made me react, I fully understood, fuck this. This isn't like, I'm not actually being there. Like, I understand, and I'm crying because I'm the sort of person who reacts, but I'm just putting this assumed perspective on the specific characters because you're throwing these common tropes to try to get me to cry, which that's what media does. Like, that's exactly what it wanted to do. But when it feels so blatant and like a genuine lack of empathy for the actual characters, it's like you're trying to get a reaction out of me instead of trying to make these characters exist.
Like, a good example of like a good sad moment, an effective scene in Violet Evergarden. It's like that very ending is so powerful.
Yeah.
Like, I can still remember like it frame to frame. But like, there's like, the reason why it works so well is because there's so much context behind it. Like, it is a character driven it's a character driven moment at that point. There's like a catharsis and a catalyst at that very point, and that's why it's so powerful. The film tries to recreate that, but it doesn't give us enough time to understand the characters or for us to realize why things are important to them. Or maybe it gives us a little bit of time, but it just didn't feel like enough. I mean, Violet Evergarden, it's just frustrating because, like, having seen the good moments, like, I know that it can be so good.
It's such a good show sometimes. And, like, I can't remember because last time we did AniPod was so long. I'm pretty sure we talked about, like, the best anime of 2018, and we probably talked about Violet Evergarden. I remember people, I think I remember people, like, disagreeing and being mad. And it's like, I don't see the point of getting upset when when we're saying it's a good show. Sometimes, like, not everything has to be a winner all the time. Some of my favorite shows I don't consider winners for all 12 episodes.
No.
But Callum, have you actually watched Violet Evergarden?
Kind of.
Are you talking about the Singapore premiere?
No, I'm not talking. I mean, I did watch that, obviously, but so my fiance was watching it for a review, and what I would do is I would look over it and then just kind of watch half of episodes, and then if I stop caring, I stop watching, and then sometimes just watch things in full. That one episode, the one episode that actually made me cry was the one that everyone cries at, is the letters one.
They're all letters.
Oh fuck! It's a show about letters.
the one with the little girl,
The
Matt.
one
I
with
know
the
what he's talking
one
about.
with the little girl. Oh my, yeah.
That was a pretty good episode.
Yeah.
That one was pretty good. That one wasn't my favorite, but I did like that one.
Yeah.
My favorite episode's like the second half of the very last episode, I guess, because the first half is just Ishidate.
See, I can't actually remember the finale, and I know I watched the finale.
it's just a lot of Ishidate crap, and then Fujita comes in. Fujita steps in.
I remember the fucking train fight.
Yeah. Let's not talk about the train fight.
That was one that I sat through, even though I thought it looked stupid. I was like, what the fuck?
Glenn, what do you think's the best episode? I think the best episode's like the princess one, directed by Yamada, probably.
I'm inclined to agree, like, because I do love that episode. Yeah, that one's my favorite. Like, I was trying to think of another one, but like that one is the one that's in my mind. Like, shot for shot, I can remember so much of that episode compared to others. It has to be my favorite.
Yeah, it's just I don't want to constantly always go back to like something done by Yamada and say that like, yeah, I just don't always want to be.
I love Naoko Yamada. I don't want to. I'm so tired of everyone talking about her all the time. She's not the only person that exists at KyoAni, so I don't want to talk about her all the time because everyone knows Naoko Yamada, and that doesn't mean you shouldn't talk about her. But I want to give highlights to other people more than Naoko Yamada because
she's the best person at KyoAni for sure right now. But there are good people like Haruka Fujita is great too. Like her moments in the show are great.
Takemoto. Yeah.
Okay.
It was eventually get to this point, wasn't it?
It's talking about KyoAni. It's inevitable, and it sucks. But we'll see. I'm happy to see that they're back up and like they're moving forward with it. So we'll see where KyoAni is in the next 2 years or so.
Yeah, I don't want to tie them to tragedy all the time, though.
But that's the thing is like Takemoto is my favorite person. Was my favorite person. So like I think did Takemoto have an Evergarden episode? I think he did.
I
can't remember. I can't remember either because I haven't. Not that it's because I don't like Violet Evergarden enough to like
check all the
to like think about it that much. If that makes sense. It's really fucked up to say that like the show before Violet Evergarden. It's like I almost kind of would rather rewatch Phantom World than Violet Evergarden.
Honestly,
and that'll piss people off. But Phantom World was a lot of fun, dude.
If I had to choose, I would probably rewatch. I would choose to watch a majority of recent KyoAni shows over Violet Evergarden, just because I don't know, Violet Evergarden, the good parts are good, but like the bad parts are just so bad. It's
no, I agree.
And like Phantom World is just sort of like a plateau.
Dude, Phantom World, there's more to it than you know. Did you ever even finish it?
Yes, I did. You fucking.
Most people didn't.
I mean, most people are like me. Watched the one episode, went, "Oh, that was funny," and then kind of dropped off.
No, I know. It's the constant.
It's the limbo scene. You watch the limbo scene, and you're like, "I've seen everything I need to see. There's nothing that can top this."
It's like you think that would be the hook, but everyone was like, well, "Fuck, dude, what are they gonna do after?" I don't think they can do it. I don't think they can do a second limbo scene. So I guess I'm gonna have to stop.
Still not a show I actually like feel the motivation to actually continue.
I understand.
No, like it's not like a fun like Amagi Brilliant Park is like
Amagi Brilliant Park
fun.
like has a hook.
Yeah.
But with Phantom World, you don't really know where it's going. Well, obviously you know where it's. All I know is they're gonna add a plot at some point, and I can't be fucked.
There's like his mom becomes like a character and becomes like a MILF. Like she is a MILF, but she becomes like more of a character at some point. It's so
she becomes
good.
more of a character, and then what happens between her and her?
It's so good. No one cares. You can just say it. No one's gonna watch Phantom World based
where
off
like
of
the mom and his mom just makes out with him.
What?
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, kind of. Where's the
Callum,
have your lips ever touched your mother's lips?
No.
I feel like that's not a common thing, man.
I just thought that's what white people do.
No. We're British. We're oppressed.
Is that racism?
We've been social distancing like since before all this happened.
Regardless, Callum, he kind of sort of makes out with his mom, and it's kind of super fucking hot.
Yeah, that's like the last episode of Phantom World, I think.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of other hot stuff too, like Phantom World, powerful fucking show.
And Matt's point was to say like, oh, it's totally normal, right? Was that where you were going with that?
Right.
Sure.
What sort of question is, has your lips ever touched your mom's? Where were you going with that?
Matthew, can you elaborate, please?
I just thought like every white person did that.
What?
That's what I was told.
Who told you that?
I don't know. White people? I don't know.
You can't blame everything on white people, Matt, as much as I want to.
Tenki no Ko. I saw that too.
Clean segue there.
I haven't seen it, so you two
Have
conversate
you?
about it.
Yo, have you actually seen it, Callum?
Yeah. I actually caught it on its day. I caught it on release in Australia because I had to go back for like visa stuff.
Okay. I guess
I'm gonna throw this out here, even though I'm the last person that should. It's Weathering with You for all you fucking normie ass bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say weathering with you. Yeah, weathering with you. What's weathering?
Tenki no Ko is easier to say.
It actually is Tenki no Ko, yeah.
I always want to say the Japanese names because I'm autistic, but fuck it. I assume that a lot of anime fans know it by Weathering with
Tenki
You.
no Ko is Weathering with You, directed by Makoto Shinkai of Your Name. Or
What
Kimi
year
no
did it
Wa.
release?
2019?
Last year?
What was its exact length?
Ooh.
2 hours?
What was its genre?
Romance?
I'd call it supernatural.
What was its rating on my anime list?
9? I don't know. 8?
Probably lower than that.
What was its IMDb score?
Why are you asking me this?
Just because you were putting all the generic information out for it, I just
It
thought
was
that's
a
where you
very
were going with
like
it.
start of like an old anime review, like back when people first start their channels.
Hey, people still make those anime reviews today. There's a specific guy who's still making them from back then.
We have to break it down by story, characters, music, visuals,
Yeah.
and then overall verdict or final verdict.
Don't forget frame rate.
Fuck off, Glen.
And you need to have like that like really bad Photoshops thing at the back with like all the numbers on it. And then you put this
Jeez.
big pointer of going at the end and going, that calculates out too.
The problem is that we're all criminals of that.
Oh,
fucking
absolutely.
hate-
I remember mine.
But no, Tenki no Ko was okay. I feel like I'm just gonna try to talk about it as a standalone film as much as I can because I don't want to compare it to Your Name, despite Shinkai himself compared it to Your Name, I guess.
It compares itself to Your Name. It's.
Yeah, it compares itself to Your Name because it has the characters from Your Name appear.
I wasn't gonna say that because I thought that was a spoiler.
It's not. There's the screenshots everywhere.
Really?
I feel like at this point everyone already
And the
knows.
film's already out. Like it's been out for over a month. So
I don't like if there's like I haven't seen it. If there's a specific spoiler you wouldn't want me to hear, then don't say it. But for the most part, just fucking talk about it.
well, the problem is that you haven't even seen Your Name. So
I mean, you think I don't know literally everything that happens in that
Yeah.
film, despite having not seen it?
but Callum,
Yeah.
I have a question. So the characters of Your Name are in Tenki no Ko, but knowing what happens at the end of Tenki no Ko, how does the end of Your Name work?
Oh shit.
You know when he meets Mitsuha and Mitsuha is wearing the same outfit that she does when she like sees Taki again, but it's like pouring rain and it's pouring rain every day.
That is a good fucking point. I hadn't even considered that.
The storyline of Tenki no Ko breaks the ending of Your Name, climate-wise.
Kind of. Yeah, unless wait, it's same outfits, right? Like she
Yeah,
can
no,
own
she
it,
was wearing the
but she
same
can-
outfit. She was wearing the exact same outfit. Like everything the same.
She can wear different outfits different days. Maybe like they just met up and then were like, "Oh, you are," and they were like, "Oh no, misunderstanding," and then just pissed off. And that is how you settle the ending. Nothing happens after.
I'm not even talking about the outfit. I'm saying the weather. The weather doesn't work with the final scene of Your Name then.
But what if it was like months before?
But it wasn't months before because it was during the story of Tenki no Ko. Like it's implied if you watch the film, like if you like watch it, there's even YouTube videos where they re-show all the Your Name characters reappearing. If you watch that and then you go to the ending of Your Name, the weather doesn't work. It doesn't coincide because you see the characters at points where you see them at the very end of Your Name.
Oh, there is a lot I've forgotten about that film because I thought there's just the scene with the grandma.
No, that's not just the scene with the grandma when he's buying the necklace.
Yeah, then this is it.
Mitsuha's
Yeah.
the one who's selling the necklace.
Oh shit! Then there is the scene with the necklace, which would imply that it's
After that, or before that, or around that time, when around that time every day was raining.
Yeah, Yeah, and the ending of Your Name specifically
Yeah.
shows the rest of the city as well. Alternate multiverse. We're going multiverse. Shinkai.
It's a Shinkai multiverse. The character of Garden of Words appeared in Your Name, and the Your Name characters appeared in Tenki no Ko.
Into the Shinkai verse.
It's just the multiverse doesn't work though.
Yeah.
So it's just having seen like the final scenes of Your Name, which takes place all around the same time that Tenki no Ko is taking place. It's never raining in Your Name, and it can't just coincide every single time to when like the sunshine girl thing is happening.
It could, kind of.
I feel you're just pushing it so much. Then.
Oh my god! Like as if like it would have to get to the point where they weren't doing anything interesting worth showing at the end of Your Name if it was raining. Like, that's how you're going to contextualize it. Like, it wasn't worth showing the bits where it was raining in Your Name. So, but within the world, they're enjoying the one special, like, sunny day.
God damn.
And Weather Girl is specifically in all of those areas that they would happen to be, like, traveling.
Amazing. I mean, I like Your Name too much for me to want to tie it to Weathering with You. Not that I dislike Weathering with You. I just feel like they're such different movies. I don't think they should be tied.
I don't think they should have had the cameo at all. I thought that was like
I felt the cameo. I don't think that was Shinkai. I think that was probably like the two. Like, oh, if there's characters with Your Name, everyone's gonna go crazy. But I'm just annoyed with how they had to tie it with Your Name, because like I think it's a film that doesn't deserve to be tied to Your Name, because if you did tie it to Your Name, it's just gonna appear to be much worse. I don't think it's a great film.
The fact that you brought that up and brought up those conflicts that I hadn't even thought about makes like it confuses my opinion on Weathering with You, which I generally fucking love. Like, I liked Weathering with You more than Your Name in the end.
I liked Your Name more than Weathering with You, but I think Weathering with You is a better directed film. I think Shinkai has become a much better director in that he's relied less on expository narration. Like, Shinkai's always like relied so much on expository narration, and this is the first film where he hasn't really.
Yeah.
A lot of the voiceover narration is like almost an extension of the character, so I think he's getting much better at that.
Yeah, the characters feel a lot more full. They feel more complex because they've got all of those world elements tied into them.
There's like a better density to like their backstories. And I think Shinkai is just better at telling the stories through confidence with his visuals. There's a really good cut, and it's not just because it's like a boob shot. It's not really a boob shot, but remember the kind of shot where like the older girl, like, I know where you're looking at.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, that was all Shinkai, I think. Shinkai directs you as the audience to, like, look at where he wants you to look, and I feel like Shinkai doesn't really do that a lot. Shinkai gives you a plethora of, like, gorgeous images, but he doesn't necessarily direct you to look at this one part of the frame. Or if he did, he didn't do it very much. I felt like in this film, he did a lot more. And that, to me, shows that he's, like, matured as a director. Like, or just that he's grown as a director.
Yeah, because it feels like for so long, like, he was making films that were entirely centered on the backgrounds. Like, that was his deal. But now it feels like he's willing to, like, get a bit more intimate and kind of fun with the characters. Mm-hmm. Rather than, like, putting out everything, like, oh, here's a character moment, big moment, and then immediately big shots of the background, and like, we don't need that many background shots. I mean, Weathering with You still has plenty of them, but like, I think one of my preferences in this is that the rain animation means that the backgrounds are always moving in some way. There's like always motion. It never feels like the pacing has stopped, because like, you're still seeing the rain drop on the ground, splash, all of those things. What's
great about it is that Shinkai didn't lose, his Shinkai-ness.
Yeah.
It still very much felt like a Shinkai film, and that's great that he's been able to just, like, keep himself as himself while growing and becoming a much more confident director, I think.
Yeah. Did this one have music videos in it? I can't remember.
No, not really. Like, it had like little tidbits of like smaller montages, but not as much as Your Name relied on.
Yeah.
To be fair, I did like a majority of the Your Name music tidbits, just because of like for me it was like a good entertainment value, not necessarily.
And Radwimps.
Yeah. I mean, I liked them, but I would hate for that to become his entire gimmick. Because, like,
No, yeah.
He's better than just relying on Radwimps for everything. I mean, he is going to rely on Radwimps for the rest of his films, but like not just saying, okay, we need a big, like, impactful moment. Can we just get an insert song?
That feel when no Gia.
That feel no. His characters have been getting more Chad.
Oh my god!
As with each new film, they're getting more and more Chad. Like Weathering with You, like Hodoka, he had moments where he became a Chad.
It's going from that feel when no GF to feel when no GF. I've had enough. I'm breaking free from these chains. Oh, thank God. As much as I love the fucking meme of his films just being that feel when no girlfriend, the feel when no girlfriend is, he had to step away eventually. Well, I'm very happy for him, and we've been recording for an hour, so unless you guys want to keep talking, I don't give a fuck.
I want to eat dinner.
Oh, okay. That's understand. You want to stop talking.
I think my stomach might have been picked up by the microphone.
I hope so, because yeah, we're gonna add it to our Callum folder.
Oh, I hope so.
But the new season of anime is about to start, so we don't really have an excuse for we don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah.
So we can record a bit sooner before the season starts.
Yep,
maybe
I will watch Decadence. That is my thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'll watch Decadence too. That one's gonna be good, or maybe, who knows? We'll see. Delayed, but yeah. Thanks for listening. Skate 4 came out.
Well, was it announced?
So it got announced. I got ahead of myself. Yeah, I'm really happy. So I'm gonna end this on a happy note. I'm still a virgin.